Welcome to the State of the Biz podcast. Today we are going to be talking about the importance of customer service when dealing with residents. I'm Richie Scola, and I'm here today with Brian Zacharias. Hey, Brian, thank you for being here. All right.
Another day, another dollar. Let's do it.
So we operate about 4,000 homes, a little over 4,000 homes in 16 markets across the country. And today we're going to share some of the best practices that we utilize here at HomeSource and some of the lessons learned over the years, last 12, 13 years that we've been in the single-family rental space. So, Brian, why don't you kick us off? Tell us some of the things that we've, kind of uncovered that are most important when it pertains to customer service and dealing with residents.
Yeah, thanks, Rich, for having me, for one. But, we've kind of come through, 10, 12 years of doing this business, really figuring out and honing in on the skill set that makes the most sense, which is, to your point, customer service. Like, that's the top priority here in our office, I know for sure, and I think most offices, to make sure that we give multiple channels for residents to really just speak to us. They just want to be heard at the end of the day, and that's what we provide. And to the point now where we offer 24/7 support coverage in both text messaging and a voice phone call if you choose to do that, to where there's always somebody available to speak to you. Sometimes it's just to say, hey, we're here for you. We know you're there. What can we do to help you? And sometimes it's nothing. They literally just want to talk to somebody, and it's comforting to know that we provide that sense of security for them.
Awesome. So, yeah, I always, we talk in the office and I say, I don't really believe the 99% of the residents that we service wake up in the morning and thinking, hey, how can I call and harass the property management that's dealing with my home. Normally it's something's wrong. They've got their life that they're living, and something's wrong with the property, and they need to be, they need to speak with somebody and get the proper attention, that they deserve.
Yeah, and I think, one of the things we focus on, outside of that is the first step, obviously, is giving them the channel to get there, right? And I think there's multiple ways to do that. Phone call 24/7, chat 24/7 in their interactive resident portal that gives them a bunch of information. We can speak on that later. And then your typical email, text, all that stuff. So there's multi-channels to really feed everybody's need. There's different levels of people. There's, a different generation that wants to just text. They don't want to talk to anybody. Yeah. I'm kind of part of that too. So we've built the system out to allow that. And then when they are, in need of support, we're there at the ready. So standards of service is the biggest thing that I think we've taken from our experiences to make sure that, okay, what's that look like, right? Like, people have waited multiple weeks back in the day, at least I know in our experience, to get a response to really anything, maintenance needs, leasing questions. Yeah. We're giving that immediate response, and we train our team to know all aspects. Ultimately, they're disciplined in certain areas, but everybody knows everybody else's, discipline. So if somebody's not available, there's somebody in line to take that and say, hey, John resident, I can answer this for you. And they get a response within 30 minutes.
So it's all about managing the expectation.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's, maybe you're not responding in the sense that somebody's dispatched out immediately, but you're able to, if that's the case in an emergency situation, fire, flood, something like that. If it's something that's a non-emergency, by being able to communicate with the resident, you're able to manage the expectations of when that problem is going to be resolved for them.
Correct. Yeah. So that's clearly the maintenance ones are the most urgent. And being there, we've had calls come in at 2 a.m. Something's happened. It's the summertime, condensate line starts to leak, or the pan starts to fill, and there's water coming from the ceiling. It's not uncommon. But being able to say, okay, here's the steps to take to minimize the damage. We may not be able to go out at 2 a.m, but we've got somebody that is trained to give them hey, do these things to try to minimize the damage, stay out of this area, whatever it is. And we're going to have somebody out there first thing. And usually that's 6 a.m. We have dispatched at 2. It's just setting a realistic expectation. But either way, we're communicating directly. There's an actual person that's dealing with that problem, whether it's 10 in the morning or 2 at night, or 2 2 at night, 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's really been, and we see a lot of positive feedback. So everybody these days is kind of driven towards Google reviews and all that. Nobody solicits reviews like that's, you know what I mean? You want positive reviews.
Yeah.
The first thing, and we've learned this in our experiences, if people don't like you, they're going to definitely let you know on Google.
They're going to tell people.
It's harder to get people to love you to come in and put 5 stars. So,
Agreed.
you know, that's really the goal, right? Is everything we do as far as from customer service aspect is driven to are we providing the proper level of service, giving the correct standards of service and expectations to our residents to where they would want to shout our name from the rooftop, go to Google, put a 5-star review, put a paragraph in there to say how well we did for them. And we're seeing positive success with that.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I definitely, we both know resident retention is the key to the rental business in general, whether it's multifamily or single family or commercial or whatever type of real estate you're in. So really managing those expectations, giving that customer support has been, something that's always been on the top of list for us here. And like you said earlier, throughout the years, that's really the best way to make sure that the portfolio is performing at its best, is to keep the residents happy and satisfied and heard and wanting to stay and wanting to renew, as long as they can with us here at HomeSource.
Yeah, and correct. And the last thing that I'll kind of point to, not, the channels, they are what they are. We talked about that. I think the biggest thing from a property manager perspective, when you're looking at your staff, right? Like, you've got to find the people that buy into the culture, not even buy in, it is, but it's the proper way to approach it. But they see the residents as they're the ones that are really,
we're here to serve them.
Yeah. Without them, we don't have a business. And
Correct.
They will pick up the phone. They want to pick up the phone. They want to take care of that resident, right? So not many people will do that. There's some people that are great workers. They're awesome. They fit a company culture, but they don't want to answer the phone. I think we've done a good job, I feel, here with we have the right people with the end goal in the right seat to answer the residents and actually listen to them, because not every resident is different. It may be the same problem, but you've got to understand that empathetic approach to really know how to speak to Mrs. Jones versus Mrs. Johnson, right?
Yeah.
So that's important, and we see that, right? And it's not something you can train it all day long, but you've got to find the people that just have that niche, right? And we've got a lot of great people out here that provide that service. So that's one of the biggest things, I think. That's really, you can't put it on paper. It's just you sometimes you get lucky, and it's hard to find. But I think you've done a good job, you and the partners here, with hiring a staff that is really embedded in just culture and taking care of other people.
Yeah. Well, we always talk about passionate about people, powered by real estate, right?
There you go.
That's the essence of what we do here. So, Brian, this was great. I appreciate you being on the show. And, if anybody enjoyed this content, please hit the like button. If there's something you'd like for us to speak about, feel free to leave a comment in the section below. And, we look forward to having Brian on again to continue to talk about the state of the biz.
State of the biz. I love it.
All right.
Thanks, Rich.
Bye.